All right, so I'm sure you've heard about this huge $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package or stimulus bill, but do you really know what's in it and how it's going to help you, if at all? Well, I'm here to share with you the top 5 financial benefits that this bill provides that will help you and many others during these crazy times. Coming up. Hey everyone, it's Ali the Finance Father, and welcome to my channel if you're new, where you will learn all kinds of financial information that your father probably never taught you, such as investing, making passive income, credit management, how to lower your taxes, and other financial strategies and tips that will help you to live a financially better life. Today, I am so excited because I'm going to share with you the top 5 financial benefits that this new $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill provides to you and millions of Americans. Among them, it includes direct payments to many millions of Americans and expanded unemployment benefits. But I'll get to that in detail a little bit later. But before I begin, please consider subscribing to my channel as it will really help me out. All right, so let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing that this COVID stimulus bill provides to millions of Americans is a direct payment or a check of $1,400, which is huge. It's going to help out so many people in this country. Now, who is eligible for this $1,400 check? Well, it's for individuals that are making up to $75,000 a year. So if you make $75,000 or less, you will be eligible for the full $1,400 stimulus payment. If you are a married couple filing jointly, well, those limits are up to $150,000. So again, if you make $150,000 between the two of you or less, you will get the full payments. Now, the payments will gradually be phased out. So if you're making between $75,000 and $80,000, okay, that's a small gap there. Well, your payment of $1,400 is going to decrease. And those making above $80,000 will not receive any stimulus payment. If you're a married couple side, that translates into $160,000 and above, you will not get any payment. So between $150,000 and $160,000 for married couples, your payments are going to be less than the full $1,400 direct payment. Now, this is what was passed by the Senate, because in the House, they initially wanted to have those phase outs or those cap limits set at $100,000 for individuals and $200,000 for married couples. But it passed the House, but the Senate reduced those amounts because they wanted to target and narrow the number of people that receive these payments to really those that are making lower incomes and really needed the help. Now, these $1,400 stimulus payments are not only for the adults, but they're also going to the dependents. So let's say you have a family of 4 and you have 2 kids. Well, each of those children will also be eligible for a $1,400 payment as well. Now, that is for kids up to the age of 16. So if you're under 17, you will get the payment. If you're over 17, you will not. Except this bill, contrary to the first and second stimulus payments, now makes it eligible for adult dependents. So in the first 2 payments, you had to be under 17, you had to be a child dependent to get that stimulus payment. And if you were an adult dependent, you say you take care of your parent or a relative or even a college student that's living at home that is over the age of 18. Well, previously they would not qualify. But with this new $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, it expanded the eligibility. So now adult dependents are eligible to receive that $1,400. So for instance, in my example, I have 2 19-year-old boys that attend college. Previously, they were not eligible to receive stimulus payments, but now with this new stimulus bill, they are able to get $1,400, or really I'm able to get the $1,400 for each of them because they are dependents of mine. And so that's a great benefit on this bill that's expanded. Now, these payments are really set to begin going out in March. So there's 3 ways you can get it. One is through direct deposit. So if you already have a direct deposit account and linked up your bank with the IRS, it will easily be wired and electronically transferred to your bank account, or they will send out checks in the mail, as many people are used to receiving in the past. And the third option is an EIP card, which is basically like a debit card. So they will give you a card that you can use to shop and purchase goods and services outside. So those are the 3 methods that you'll get your direct payments. Now, the payments should start rolling out in March, and the government has until December 31st, 2021 to send out all of their payments. So look out for yours coming up. All right, so the second financial benefit that this new COVID stimulus bill provides is that it extends the unemployment benefits. So if you remember, back in March when President Trump first signed the CARES Act, when the coronavirus was starting to spread and impact the nation and all the businesses, he put in the law that it said people can get unemployment benefits if you were laid off, or your job cut your hours, or you were financially impacted from the coronavirus pandemic. And so you can collect benefits not only from your state, but the federal government will also provide assistance in those benefits. And that was to expire at the end of the year, in December 31st. And then late in the year, in December, President Trump extended that law so that the benefits would be extended through middle of March. Well, now this new $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus bill extends those unemployment benefits even further, all the way out to September 6th. Now, that's going to be $300 a week that is going to be extended, that people that are still unemployed and impacted severely by the coronavirus and by the business shutdowns and the layoffs, that they'll be able to collect every single week all the way through September 6th. Now, originally, the House passed the original COVID bill just a couple of weeks ago, and they really wanted $400 a week to people for unemployment benefits. But their expiring date was going to be like August. And so when the bill came to the Senate reduced the amount of unemployment benefits from $400 to $300, but extended the time that people can collect for another month. Now, another benefit that the bill provides related to the unemployment is that the Senate also added a provision in the bill that waives the income taxes on those benefits received for unemployment on the first $10,200. So what does this mean? So in 2020, there were roughly about 40 million Americans that collected unemployment insurance benefits last year. And so if you were collecting $300, $400, $600, in the summer when the government was providing those payments, well, then you could be receiving probably close to about 20, 30, sometimes some people maybe less, maybe 10,000 worth of unemployment benefits. And so typically in a normal year, if you collected 10 or 20,000 of insurance benefits, well, you will have to pay taxes at the end of the year on that income. So that could be a hefty tax bill at the end. And so what the Senate has added into this bill is that they've decided, okay, they don't want to give all these affected unemployed people a huge tax bill at the end of the year now as you're filing taxes, but let's waive the income tax up to the first $10,200 of benefits that people receive. So if you receive $10,000 worth of unemployment benefits, you won't have to pay any taxes on that money. If you receive, say, $20,000 of unemployment insurance benefits, well, then the first $10,200 will be tax-free, and then the balance, which is $9,800, well, you will get taxed on that amount. And so this is going to be a huge help for many Americans that are struggling and that don't have to worry about this huge tax bill or payments that they will have to make when they file their taxes. All right, so the third financial benefit that this COVID stimulus bill provides is it's going to give various tax credits and assistance to millions of Americans. First is the child tax credit. So typically in the past, people can get up to $2,000 for the child tax credit per child. Well, with this new COVID stimulus bill, that amount increases to $3,600 for kids that are under 6 years old. And for those kids that are between 6 to 17 years of age, well, that amount is $3,000 per child. So this is a big increase from the $2,000 that was previously in law. And so this is going to help out millions of Americans that have kids. So in addition to those increased levels of the child tax credit, really low-income people will also be able to get the full credit. And in addition to that, in the second half of 2021, they will begin receiving advance payments that were going to be sent out periodically as installments. So in essence, it's kind of like a guaranteed income for families with children that have low incomes. And so that's coming in the second half of the year. The second various tax credit that this bill provides is that it expands the child and dependent care tax credit. So if you send out your kid to a daycare, or somebody's watching them, or you're taking care of an adult as a dependent, well, those credits will also be expanded. In addition, another tax credit that this bill provides is it expands the earned income tax credit. So typically, you have to be a very low-income individual and have kids to get the earned income tax credit, but now it expands it to workers without any kids. So that's going to help out a broader group of people. Another various tax benefit that is included in this bill is that it also exempts the student loan forgiveness. So if you have college debt, and let's say some of it is forgiven, well, typically in the past, that amount that is forgiven would have to be included as income on your taxes. And so now with the new COVID stimulus bill, that taxes are wiped out. So you don't have to pay those taxes on that forgiven amount of the student loan. Now, it doesn't wipe out the student loan, okay? I know there's been a lot of talk by politicians and lawmakers asking for student loan debt to be either reduced or eliminated or erased up to $10,000. I know President Biden said that he would feel comfortable eliminating about $10,000 of student debt. Some lawmakers are looking for a little bit more, up to $50,000 of student debt that can be eliminated, but that is not included in this bill. That might come later. But the only thing that's really included in this bill is the forgiveness that you don't have to pay income taxes on the amount of the student loan that is forgiven. And then the last various tax credit and assistance that this bill provides is that it gives $25 billion of rental assistance and utility assistance to those people who are struggling and in danger of being evicted from their homes. And so to prevent the eviction, they will receive benefits in the form of rental payments or assistance with paying utilities like electric and water. And this $25 billion is on top of the already like $27 billion that the CARES Act provided for rental assistance. So these are a lot of various tax benefits and assistances that are going out to help struggling Americans in this really dire need of time. All right, and then the fourth financial benefit that this $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus bill provides is that it gives money to really fight the coronavirus pandemic. So this is going to be funding for vaccine distribution, contract tracing, so that they know who's been infected and can go after the people that they've been in contact with. More funds for coronavirus testing and antibody testing, as well as genomic sequencing as well. So all kinds of money being poured into the coronavirus vaccine distribution and into the testing as well. Another benefit is that there's going to be $160 billion of money that's going to be directed to set up a national vaccine program that's going to help a lot of the state and local governments fight the coronavirus pandemic and have a kind of structure in place, not only for this pandemic, but for future as well. And then third, there's money that's going to go into the Federal Emergency Management Agency, so FEMA. So when problems and catastrophes and disasters like this pandemic arise, they will have money to support their efforts and help other people as well. The fifth benefit that this COVID stimulus bill provides is that it provides money to numerous businesses and government entities. For example, there's going to be $350 billion worth of funding giving to state governments, local governments, territories, and tribal governments that are suffering, that have reduced services because income has not been generated as much as in the past. And so that's going to help those establishments, those governments, kind of stay propped up. Another benefit is that there's going to be $130 billion in funding to schools. Now, this is a really hot topic because a lot of the teachers want to be safe and secure and have vaccine or the vaccine given to them so that they can properly, go to school and teach and feel comfortable and safe. And they also want to help reopen the schools in a safe manner so that they have the proper ventilation systems, the proper structure with desks spaced apart, as best as possible. And so there's going to be $130 billion worth of funding given to schools to have them set up properly. There's also going to be money given to colleges and universities, housing aid, food assistance programs. There's going to be a bailout for multi-employer pension plans. And of course, there's going to be funding to many, many businesses, especially restaurants and live venues that have really been impacted by this pandemic and this shutdown. And there's also going to be another PPP program, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, helping provide loans and money to businesses to help them either survive or to help them continue to grow during these crazy times. And so a lot of different money going out to businesses and various government entities. Now, there's a host and numerous other benefits that this bill provides. Too many to go into. I mean, this bill, I think, is over 600 pages long that you have to read through. And I've read some of it, but it is very dry and it's very like in legal terms, so I wouldn't recommend it. But there's a lot of other benefits that come along with this bill. But I think those top 5 financial benefits that I've just shared with you are the main ones that are going to help you and most Americans today. Now, one of the things that the new $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus bill does not include, and many people were really asking for, is an increase in the federal minimum wage. So right now, the federal minimum wage is about $7.25, and lawmakers were proposing to include in this bill a minimum wage hike up to $15 for all federal employees. Now, that wasn't possible with the way that this bill was submitted, and so that is not included in this bill. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen afterwards. And I think a lot of lawmakers are going to try to put that into a bill soon. But for right now, that is not included. And the main benefits are the 5 that I just really kind of told you. Well, I hope you got value out of this video. And if so, please smash the like button so that this valuable content can be shared with other people as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, where you will learn other financial tips and information to help you out. And leave me a comment below if you have any questions on what I covered, or if there are any other topics you'd like for me to discuss on future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.